So today's Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan, and I usually quote first La Halacha, is the Chafetz Chaim writes in Hilchos Rosh Chodesh from the Ramak that this is a day of introspection, a time of Izboidedus, and it's also what we say in davening, Zman Kapara Lesoile Doisom, which means that you have an atonement for the entire month. So it's definitely appropriate to take a few minutes and to try to do some level of tshuva. The minhag is by many is to fast. Those that are not fasting, it's a time still to have kapara in the entire month. So put away the food. Now, aside from that, there's a minhag that now became almost like a chiyuv. It's one of those minhagim that if you don't do it, you feel like you're terrible. It's a nice minhag that the Shlach Kodesh wrote, a beautiful, really tefillah. And I just want to focus, it's not about the tefillah so much, it's what the tefillah is speaking about. The tefillah is, if you look at the actual language, it's about Klal Yisrael being called Reishis and the Torah being called Reishis. Reishis, the beginning. And if you look at the Lashon, it says, Li ishtamudon elukus, to reveal godliness in the world. And that means that the Torah reveals godliness. That's number one. And who's going to reveal that godliness to the world? That's Klal Yisrael. So we spoke about the Rashbam, which is something that you should review 1,000,000 times with yourself and with your kids and anyone else, that Mamleches Kohanim V'Goy Kodesh, what we're about to happen in 6 days from now, becoming Mamleches Kohanim V'Goy Kodesh, and I tried to stress this, that the Rashbam says, is that the entire humanity is Yokol B'nei Hashem. Just we were called Amanivcho. So that musag itself also needs a lot of explanation. A lot of people got in trouble in history misunderstanding what that means to be an Amanivcho. And it's true. Ashaboch albanu mikolam. We were chosen from all nations. But I once said over from Rav Yaakov Weinberg, he used to say the following. I don't know where it's come from, but he said, it's a poem that they used to say, how odd of God to choose the Jews, not so odd we chose God. Ever hear that before? Now, it's true. The Rabban Shem chose us and we chose God, and the Rabban Shem gave a choice to all the nations. Am Anivcha means that we were chosen for a mission. Just the fact that a person was part of Klal Yisrael then, but doesn't live up to it, as Rav Noach Weinberg Zichrono used to say, he's worse off. A guy that's Jewish but doesn't really follow what Hashem says, Be'etzem can be much worse off than a non-Jew that's doing what Hashem told him to do. And on a deeper level, the Chasam Sofer said that there were individuals amongst the nations. It wasn't that the entire nations as an individual. That means that as a nation said no. But there were individuals that said we're interested. And those are the Gerim of today, which is an amazing statement. Very important how to look at the world and how to look at our mission. Now, there was a video that went around. There was I think it was a non-from Jew, who went around Eretz Yisrael asking people what it means in the Maseches. It's just a classical way of getting really people irritated. He went around asking people, what does this mean that the Talmud teaches that Jews are called human and non-Jews are called beasts? And he went around to Hasidish, Litvish, and each one was kvetching and having a very difficult time and ready almost to beat the guy up. And he was actually really being sincere. He was just trying to bring out that something a very powerful statement needs to be clarified. These big statements of Amanivcho, we're called Adam. So of course, you look at the source, we're called Adam. It doesn't say that the non-Jews are called beasts. It says, and they're not called Kuyim Adam. This was a Gemara in Yevamos, if you don't recall. And the idea that we said is different interpretations, but on a simple level, it means that the Adam Arishon, when he was created with a mission to bring out Elokus. So Akum, which usually means Ovdei Kechavim Umazol, someone that's worshipping other gods, is not bringing out that Elokus. So this is another example of making sure that very powerful statements and concepts are there. Now, God willing, in the next few days, we're also going to try to bring out a much deeper appreciation, because that's what today is about, is to daven that we should be continuing this shalshelis, this chain of all the way from Har Sinai, It's something that really we should be dancing. Because I told you I was interviewed by Channel 12. A lady shows up with another man. So I knew that there's at least another purpose to this interview. So I said to them, who in this room is Jewish? In my Kiruv training, I learned how to do that. And the lady, whose name was Rebecca, said, I am. And the man said, I'm half Jewish. And of course he explained himself. He said his father's Jewish, his mother's. And I said to myself, if you think about it, it's amazing. Everyone that's listening to this WhatsApp is in that Shalsheles, 144 generations about to Har Sinai. Someone that tells me and tells you, oh, I'm half Jewish, meaning that his father's Jewish, his mother isn't, almost made it, and then didn't. His father married out, and 100 is like batting out, losing out at the end. It's heart-wrenching. And at the same time, it's something so amazing is that we're still in that Shalsheles, and Baruch Hashem, Mashiach is coming any day. So that's something that we should dance, that we are still in that amazing chain, Am Nivcha, with an incredible mission to teach the world about beautiful things, concepts that the Torah tells us to.